Yeah, I mean, people have to understand that Muslims come from across the globe in so many different cultures, and we just have one perception when we see some sort of extremism or some sort of, isolated incident, and we sort of brush that on every single Muslim person out there.
Why are you wearing it?
I wear it because it is part of my faith, and it is part of my identity.
So what's it saying about your faith? I just need to get to the crux of... You see, I remember, as a Roman Catholic, I remember in the 60s, women covered their heads up with black scarves every time they entered a church.
Yes, it still happens in a lot of places like Italy and places like Spain. So even when I visit as well, a lot of women will cover up when they enter the actual sort of churches. So it's a sign of respect.
Who are you covering up for?
It's for myself and for my creator. So I feel that at the end of the day that I feel kind of, feeling modest and protected, and at the same time, it's showing that, people are looking at me for different reasons as well, and they're listening to me for different reasons. And as much as people may say it's oppressive, it may be shown oppressiveness in some areas and some parts of the world, but Muslims are, vast across the globe. And again, we have Muslims from Indonesia and Malaysia and Brunei and all of these places, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And we have so many Muslims, non-Muslims, converting and coming to Islam as well, out of their own choice, especially in the West.
But I'm not sure the benefit, I'll shut up after this, I'm not sure the benefit of, if I'm not supposed to look at you, I am looking at you, and I don't wish to be offensive or anything. You're a very attractive woman. Am I not supposed to see you as an attractive woman?
That is you. Because I think, attractiveness is relative at the end of the day. You might find it, someone else may not. I'm sure a lot of people watching me be like, what is she wearing? What is she doing? She's in an impressive place and she shouldn't be, imposing it over here. But you go to Spain, you get a lot of Britons over there that never change, never integrate, never even learn the language. So wherever we go, we always bring our own to a certain extent and we keep it, but we still integrate. And there's a lot of intellectual Muslims choosing on their own, like myself. And nobody in my family actually wears it, except for me and my sister. And we chose individually.
Yeah, well, listen, Khadija, I suppose from a liberal perspective in a Western country where women are choosing to use it and they're able to eloquently argue the case for it about modesty and a statement of faith, fair enough. But I suppose the point is that in many countries of the world, women are told they have to wear it, and they are told they have to wear it because they're in some way sexual and wrong and immoral just by being a woman. Is that your objection to it?
The thing is that we're not talking about individuals here who claim to choose to wear it. We're talking about an attire that comes with an ideology, and that ideology looks down on women. That ideology is inherently misogynistic. When we talk about they are told to wear, no, they are not told to wear, they are forced to wear, they are coerced into wearing it. And when we talk about the women who claim to choose to wear it, they are doing it here in the Western society where we have freedoms, liberties under the secular, laws of the Western countries. Here we don't have religion in power, but where we have religion in power, we see that the religious authorities, they use this attire as a tool to oppress women. And that is why it's not about some women, it's not about some places, it's Muslim majority countries around the world. Millions of women are forced to wear it. So it is very disingenuous to say that there are some women who are forced to wear it. We can see that just a couple of days ago, we just marked the death anniversary of Mahsa Amini. What happened to her? She was wearing improper hijab. What happened? Okay, this happened in Iran. Let's talk about the UK. What happened to Binaz? Binaz, she refused to comply with this orthodox and cultish lifestyle. She refused to wear hijab. She refused to comply with the...
But these are isolated incidents, and I think that, again, it does not represent everyone and everywhere. As much as you say that, that happens, and that's not part of faith, that's an ideology, as you say. And those are interpretations that most even Muslims don't actually approve of as well. It's just that we don't have our voice to actually say it out loud. So at the end of the day, the mainstream media will actually, pick and choose what they want, and and that's why everybody has this
you
version.
can say that this is not the interpretation of religion, but it is a misogynistic attire.
If they are using it in my name, if they're using it in my name and my faith, then it's different.
No, it is a misogynistic attire. There is a religious, you can say, belief behind this attire that women are supposed to cover themselves. I believe that it is nowhere mentioned in the core beliefs of Islam. It is not mentioned in the Quran. Even the khimar that is mentioned in the Quran, it is not hijab. It is just a piece of cloth here that women
it's a
wear.
woman's choice to decide
what do you make
anyway.
then of this statue? Is it divisive?
It's disgraceful. It's disgraceful. I would say, I was talking about Benaz. She refused to comply with these orthodoxical beliefs, and she was brutally murdered. And then we talk about another girl who was murdered by her own family members in Canada. She refused to wear hijab. I know that these appear to be isolated cases. Why? Because these women, they suffer in silence who refuse to comply, and they make the headlines only when they are tortured.
And they are being oppressed.
Let me
But they are being oppressed.
They only make headlines when they are tortured. Or in worst cases killed. Only then they make headlines and they come on the front pages of the newspaper.
At the end of the day, when there are people who are choosing one extreme to another, it's the same as oppression on either side. At the end of the day, we're not ping-pongs, women to say, wear it or don't wear it. We should be given that choice either way. So if you are in a secular country, or even in Britain, we're not secular here. We have, even King Charles is a fan and an ambassador for all faiths, because we can live quite healthily and happily in society.
What about those women who don't comply with the faith? What about those women who don't want to wear it?
There's no compulsion in religion.
And they suffer in silence. They suffer in silence.
Yeah,
I was born and raised in a very conservative Muslim household. I know as a child I didn't have any choice. My father, he tried to make me wear hijab. My mother, she stood for me. She said to my father, she confronted him and said to her, I didn't give birth to a slave. My girls would never wear. Excuse me. Just let me explain. My mother said, my girls will not wear hijab, and it's because of her I was free. I wouldn't wear it. Otherwise, my father would have put this on me
just because you
for
want
the
to
rest of my life.
yourself.
So I know the little girls, they have no choice. They are made to wear it in the name of modesty, in the name of cultural norms, and they carry this burden all their lives.
Just to Fahima, final point to you. I mean, you could look at a Catholic nun, for example, and the outfit's not that different. You could make the case, couldn't you, that it's not the hijab in itself, it's the human twisting or misinterpretation of something that is at fault here. And actually, if a woman wants to wear something as a religious symbol, then there shouldn't be anything wrong with that in and of itself.
Absolutely. And if there is people that are doing certain things, they should be accountable for it. But don't brush us all under the same sort of banner to think that, it's an oppression, it's a slavery, all of that. Because there are millions of women who choose, whether it's in the West or even in the East, and I've travelled widely to actually know this.
I just want to say one thing, whenever something comes from religion, it is always sugar-coated or always brushed aside.
No, it's not.
We need to understand one thing,
bad
that if we don't allow any misogynistic belief in the society and we condemn it unequivocally, we need to do the same when it comes from the religious discourse.
But it does exist outside of religion as well. We have to leave it there.